they are one hot mama bird. The Colorado men's ultimate team is looking for revenge and redemption. Last year's underdog fell 3 points shy of a national championship berth. This year, they've crushed all comers en route to the title match. Their opponent, top-seeded Cal Berkeley. The UPA Ultimate College Championship is next, and things could get UGMO. The picturesque skyline of Seattle serves as our backdrop, but the beauty of the Pacific Northwest will have to take a backseat today as we bring you the battle for the UPA College Ultimate Championships. The top two teams in the country, Colorado Mamabird against Cal Berkeley UGMO. Craig Hummer along with former collegiate ultimate great Ben Wiggins. And Ben, this is shaping up to be a great one.
Craig, it's a rarity that the top two seeds survive through the whole tournament. This is the undisputed best of the best and should be a fun game to watch.
Well, right now, let's hear from the coaches and hear who they think is going to make an impact in this game.
Hello, this is Cat Wilson, head coach of the University of Colorado men's team. Welcome to the National Championship game. This is our second year in the National Championship, playing against University of California. Two guys to watch out for this game are Joshua Ackley, number 20, aka Richter, from Arvada, Colorado. He's our senior captain and superstar on the field, the best short receiver in the game. Another guy to watch out for is freshman sensation Beaufort Kittredge from Fairbanks, Alaska, number 50. He's going to be all over the field making Ds and sacrificing his body.
Hi, I'm John Shelton. I'm one of two coaches for the California men's ultimate team, UGMO. This is the first time we've gone to the national championship finals. Two players you should watch out for today are number 23, Dan Stein. He's a madman on the mark. And number 14, Matt Pachensky. He's good for a couple layouts every time he's in the game.
Nothing more to say. We said it.
We see Mamabird. What are the keys to their match to win it all?
Well, their freshman four have to come up and play like savvy veterans. That's Kittredge, Dahl, Foreman, and Cochran. And their team as a whole needs to stay aggressive with the disc. For Cal, they need their top three seniors, Watson, Sanka, and Hodges, to take on the throwing load. And the team as a whole needs to move the disc quickly to keep the defense off balance.
Ben, you mentioned Watson. You need to look no further. He will be in the starting lineup. He has already won a collegiate national championship with the Stanford squad. And when you talk about Colorado, two guys in particular, Josh Richter Ackley and the big man, the freshman, Beaufort Kittredge. Tell you what, when we look at the format, 7 per squad, scoring on a 70-yard field. An important thing to note, no officials though.
Everything's done by spirit of the game. Players call their own fouls, and it's a team-run sport.
Clouds in evidence. Mostly cloudy is the forecast. Low 60s the temperature. Winds light to moderate, 10 to 15 miles an hour. Perfect disc weather. Keep in mind the game to 15, you must win by 2. There are observers out on the field. That is an important point, even though we talked about how it's self-officiating, and right away Cal goes for the big huck, but unable to pull it down.
They wanted to establish Bart Watson going deep right away. Bo Kittredge came from the help side and got his big left hand on it.
Kittredge, number 50, you see him right there. Colorado in the black shirts, Cal Berkeley in the gray shirts.
Nice swing there. They're just going to reset, take the defensive advantage away by just moving the ball around the field.
Nice little angle on the disc right there, and he comes down with it. Great job by Gottlieb. J.A.Z. as he's known.
Nat Kinski made a play on that disc, almost got to it, and there's a big D. George goes right past Bo, lays out past him for a huge layout block.
So we see Colorado set up on defense, Berkeley taking their time. Bart Watson set to handle the disc.
Looks like they're trying to isolate Hodges in the middle. Oh, an overthrow on the swing pass, and Bart's throwing it away. Colorado right back.
Ben, important to note that the wind has been gusting.
This is what we like to call a thrower's win. It's going to separate the very good throwers on either team from the rest of the players.
Working it into the middle there to Eric Hutton. Hutton dishes it out to JV once again. JV across the field.
They're getting nice movement right now. They're really swinging the disc back and forth, making it tough for the defenders to get stuck in.
JV once again handling the disc, passes it to Kittredge. Kittredge off to the side, and a mishandle right there by Richter.
A bit of an underthrow by Kittredge, but really Richter's got to come up with that one.
Julian, he's just deep. That's all he does.
Yeah, George. Harder, go. Go,
Adam Scow puts it back into Watson.
Nice throw.
Nice break to keep in the middle of the field. Give back puts Bart right at the defense.
Easy, we're working it up.
Sitting right at midfield. You hear him say easy, we're working it up. Throws it away that time. Jolien Dahl comes up with the turnover.
Again, Colorado defenders getting back to help each other. They're marking well, but they're really from the back of the stack playing off and picking up double teams.
You can really see the elevation in the level of play, even from the semifinals.
Adam, you're not behind him.
Colorado working into the wind. They don't look particularly bothered by this defense at the moment. They're breaking marks pretty much at will.
Hunsinger trying to put it back into the middle. Remember, that count is only to 10. They need to get it away in 10 seconds or else it's a turnover. JV hucks it, going for the big man, but overthrows.
Well overthrown on that one. Upwind, it's going to be tough to take those shots, but at least they back up Cal into their own end zone.
Incomplete. They have the option to bring it out to the goal line, which they do.
Nat ahead. Looks like Mittendorf's going deep for Bart.
He's got him. Setting up a great dish out, little backhand, and there it is. Cal on the board first. Adam Scow with the score off the assist from Bart Watson.
Even here you can say, even when they do complete it, there's still a double teaming defender back there. They're going to have to either clear the deep space or make those throws longer and lead the players out past the help defense.
Well, the double team left somebody open. That was Adam Scow. Berkeley on the board, 1-0. Welcome back to Tomahawk Field, just outside Seattle, Washington, for the final of the UPA College Ultimate Championship. Colorado in black versus Berkeley in gray. Craig Hummer along with Ben Wiggins, and a nice knockdown right there.
Yeah, Berkeley's defensive team is on the field and getting aggressive right away. They go deep to Sanka, and he somehow comes up with it.
Off of the huge defensive effort, they come up with a big movement downfield, a lethal point for Cal.
2-0. Yo knows his receiver, and he's going right to the end zone and trusting that receiver to make the catch.
Our championship just getting started. Right now, let's go back a year and take a look at last year's championship game between, Ben, your Oregon Ego team and the Hodags of Wisconsin.
After a long weekend in 90-degree Texas weather, two undefeated teams, we were set for a great match.
Last year was one of the greatest feelings I've ever had in my entire life.
Swirling offense.
No question, Ben, Wisconsin's Ryan Carrington would have good memories. They got out early in the first half, and they just kept hucking you to death, didn't they?
It was one of those days where it seemed like nothing worked. Wisconsin played great, but they sure got some of the breaks, didn't they?
Well, Ben, and you know better than most, ever so important to catch your D's, baby.
Oh, Craig, what more can I do?
I mean, playing in that finals game was just such an honor.
Oh, we wouldn't leave you hanging, though, partner. Here's one for the highlight reel.
Oh, I appreciate that, Craig. Nice to see me do something good for once.
I mean, the way that our boys played and the way that everything works out, I was just so proud of everybody, and I was just so happy to be there.
Carrington's right. On that day in 2003, the Hodags were too strong, winning 15-8.
It was just one of the greatest moments of my life.
I agree. It was one of the greatest moments of his life.
Well put, partner. Well, it wasn't too bad for you. You walked home with the Callahan Award, the MVP in the nation, so you didn't go home empty-handed.
No, it might have been a disappointing end, but it was a disappointing end to an incredible season. I'll take that any day.
Well, one of these teams is going to be perhaps a little disappointed. That's an understatement at the end of this one. Berkeley at the moment excited with a 2-0 lead. Right now, Colorado in the black. They've got to answer.
they've got to answer quickly. Right now, their confidence is wavering a little bit, and they're wondering, is it going to happen again?
Colorado right there. That looked like a really bad throw, but it looks like it's being called back.
Yeah, foul on the marker. It's unfortunate because they had him stuck at a high count, but he's given him a free out. Parker's disc about 5 yards deep in the end zone.
See number 10, Chicken Simon. Look for him to make a cut, try to get open.
Parker's got Bo on the sideline, toes it in. A reset.
Kittredge with the disc. 6.
Tough D being played on the dump right now.
Oh, and what an unbelievable mistake by J.V. Gottlieb right there. Just the wind caught it, wasn't able to keep hold of it. Turnover. Berkeley takes over possession.
Disc exploded like a bomb in his hands. The wind might be affecting him more than we thought.
Hear him yelling, get up, Bo. Kittredge left this man open, and they take it. No, they aren't able to capitalize on it. Just out of Garcia's hands. Oh, it looked like Garcia and Dan Stein went up for it.
As soon as the mark laid out, Dan had an open shot to the break side. It's unfortunate they couldn't capitalize there.
Well, Ben, Colorado dodges a major bullet right there. Going down 3-0 would have been very detrimental.
Especially 3-0 without being able to move the disc. And here they're going big shot to Jolian. He's coming up with it, and they're outside the end zone with an opportunity to get back on the board.
Dahl dumps it back to JV. Gottlieb here, flicks it forward. Nice grab by Chicken Simon. Simon puts it up.
Deed again, a little bit floaty, a little bit tentative with their throws. They need to bear down.
So once again, Colorado unable to capitalize on some momentum. They move the disc down the field, and here you go again. Sonka just can't get to the disc.
Colorado cannot keep allowing this to happen. They've got to stick a goal in. They have to get going back downwind, or else they're just going to let Cal blow this game open.
Berkeley has been going with the wind. That's why they're able to have these hucks and control them so well.
Looks like Colorado's coming out in a spread formation. This is going to open up the field in the back and try to create lanes in the middle so they can move it without getting stuck on the sideline.
Krug to Kittredge. Kittredge now again to Krug. Krug lofts it up there with the flick.
There's a moon ball.
Oh, and he comes down with it.
Bizarro gets his hand on another big shot.
And that opens up Kittredge for the point.
Whew. If you're going to score, score, but that ain't the way they want to do it. At some point, they're going to have to get some offensive flow.
Colorado finally on the board.
When it gets that close to the line, it's pretty hard to cover one-on-one against a person like that. So, just gave him a little crossover, broke his ankles.
At least, hey, it's late.
Broke his ankles indeed. You'll notice actually that Bo is not being guarded on the front side. They're allowing him to catch easy discs in. He's going to be an out for the Mamabird when they get in trouble. Look to see them use that as they get high in the stall count, and Cal continues to be afraid of him going deep.
Hunsinger with the pull. Let's see if they take advantage now that they're going with the wind.
Yo starting this play off.
UGMO, first time we've seen them in a while working upwind. That was a great save right there.
Or was it?
Or exactly.
Looks like it's going to the observer here.
Active ball.
Well, it goes back to spirit of the game, doesn't it, Ben? I mean, there's a national championship on the line, but they both agree to disagree, and Berkeley keeps possession.
With a little bit of an assist from this observer, the right call was made. However, Bart turns it over quickly, and Colorado has another chance at the end zone.
Sonka was unable to lay out and make that grab.
That's good, Dan. Active poke.
J.V. Gottlieb.
See poke.
He's got to cut up the line, and now they're just going to move it straight down. They're just taking the easy stuff. They're going to have to swing it back to the middle of the field.
Richter looking to move it around, gives it back to J.V.
Looks like nothing's happening for him downfield. Just be patient. Eventually they will get their play. Travel called.
Travel is not a turnover, it just stops play, it resets it. Travels also just means too many steps. You must establish a pivot foot.
Quick foul on the mark. Still in the middle of the field. Colorado has nice attack angles here.
Dish off, a little dump by Kittredge back to JV.
You can see that Bo does not want to be throwing the disc. He wants to get it into the hands of his handlers, and that might be why. Not displaying disc skills there, he lets one go through his hands. Bart's looking to go quickly.
Oh, a great drop. Smacked it down. JV Gottlieb, fantastic defensive effort.
Read the eyes of the offensive player and stepped into the lane. Bart should know better than to throw into a crowded lane, though. That's giving it up on the fast break. Maybe wanted to walk that one through.
Huge change of momentum, especially right there if they can capitalize, and they do. Richter pulls it down, and they have evened this contest at 2s.
That's 2 straight points that probably should have been Cal's. That's a big opportunity missed. They go out to an early lead. Maybe this game should be out of reach at 4-0.
See Richter toe it in, and Cal knows that they let one get away right there. The crowd's into it. Welcome back to CSTV's coverage of the 2004 UPA College Ultimate Championship game. While we were away, a scoring spree. Cal first on the board, Ben.
Mittendorf with an extended grab in the back of the end zone on a nice Garcia forehand. And then Colorado comes right back into a double team. Bo comes up with it.
Kittredge would score, but then a couple mistakes left the door open for Colorado.
Disappointingly, Bart misses a layout he normally gets and then misses a D he normally gets, feeding up an easy one to Bo.
Yet another mistake by Berkeley would lead to another Colorado point.
Colorado's found some offense, and just like in the semis, they've come back from an early deficit and taken the momentum back.
They lead at the moment 5-3.
Overthrow there. Finds the dirt.
JV Gottlieb with the chance to bring it out of the end zone. Dumps it off. Oh my gosh, Garcia with a huge interception for the point.
That's called a Callahan goal. If you catch it in the other team's end zone, you don't even need to throw another pass.
He read the eyes and pulls it down. A huge boost for his team. That is going to fire up Cal. We talked to Cal captain Dan Hodges about how he rises his game.
I think I feed off other folks' strengths pretty well. I get real fired up when people are playing well, trying hard, and I love it when the team's rolling. So.
Dan Hodges is one of several players on this team that can bring a huge upside when the other teammates bring them up. Somebody needs to make a play now like Garcia did, bring them back to a tie, and fire the rest of the team up to make a long run.
We just got through talking about how Colorado had seized all the momentum. Well, it's all back in California's court right now, but right now it could switch back, and it does. Oh yeah, the crowd's loving that one.
That's not typically where you'd expect the Colorado Hucks to come from or go to, but they're using their versatility and depth and taking it from all angles right now. Nice backhand down the line, opens up the defense.
Jolien Dahl asking for some respect, and he gets it, skies up there, and pulls it down.
You'll notice right now that Colorado is playing the same line almost every point, whereas Cal is rotating as they have all tournament. When you have only one game in a day, maybe you should change your subs and be a little bit more tight on who you put in the game.
6-4, another 2-point advantage for Colorado. Once again, Cal must answer. They need to keep this close.
They've got the wind at their back, and that'll help a bit. But the wind hasn't been their problem. Right now, their problem is going too fast on the offense. They need to settle down and let their legs move the disc for them.
The pull stays up in the air a long time. That allows Colorado to set the D.
Once again, they go to an early huck.
Just over the defender and the offensive player from Cal. They're trying to call a foul on this one, Ben.
This looks iffy. He did get some contact from the back, but in the rules, says there's allowed some incidental contact. It looks like he wasn't getting it regardless.
That's not foul.
The observers confer. We'll wait for their decision. Now, it looked as though Garcia, are they going to give it to Garcia? They are on the goal line.
They did call it a foul. They must have decided that the push in the back was enough to disrupt his catching attempt. Coming in 0 on the goal line.
So a great chance for UGMO to get within 1. They do. Right there. Dan Hodges converts.
Nice little undercut. He wrapped around and used the isolation space on the live side.
You can bet Cat Wilson will have something to say about that. We'll be back after this. We return to Tomahawk Field. There you see the Mamabird faithful. We'll call them the Chickadees, cheering on the Colorado squad, and they have had a lot to cheer about so far. Close competition. Colorado, the number 2 seed, leading the number 1 seed in the country, California, by 1, 6-5. Craig Hummer along with Ben Wiggins, and Ben, up to this point, it really has been back and forth as to who's had the momentum. Who do you look for to make a statement right now?
Well, one of these teams needs to make a shift and just smooth out the offense a little bit. Maybe by deepening their formation up a little bit, allowing more underspace. But right now, both are struggling to score unless they score with something very deep.
Chicken Simon went for Kittredge right there. Didn't get it.
This is going to give Cal a quick opportunity to get back in this game with a D point because they give him possession so close.
Tribulation on the sidelines for the Cal squad. They could use one right here. A missed throw gives it back to Colorado.
Again, Bart, disappointing throw, but they're going deep right away. And who have they got? The man that always seems to come up with it.
You've got to be kidding. Richter comes down with it. Talk about an earth-shattering change of events.
That's a ballsy play by Parker Krug to take it right from the goal line and go 70 yards with a long huck. Really makes Richter look good there.
That's huck out of the dictionary. You want to know how to do that? Here's the chance.
Hi, my name is Grant Zukowski. I play for the UW Hodags, and I'm going to show you how to get the most out of your hucks. In Ultimate Frisbee, the huck is the quickest way to score. It's a long pass that goes all the way down the field, similar to a bomb in football. There are 2 different types of huck. There's a backhand huck, which is held like this, and then there's a forehand huck, which is held like this. I'm going to start by showing you how to throw the forehand huck. The most important thing about hucking with your forehand is to have both fingers in close to the rim because you're going to be applying a lot of force to the rim of the Frisbee. The second most important thing is when you're throwing the disc to step into your throw and come through it. The third most important thing, you want to, instead of having the Frisbee flat, you want to point the edge down. So if you throw it into wind, it's going to come and just flatten during its flight. This is how it's done. Now for the backhand huck, you want to have all 4 fingers underneath the rim of the Frisbee so you can put the most amount of power and snap on the disc. You also want to have your thumb on top to give the disc stability. When you throw the backhand, you want to curl your body back and then release all the power you've stored up using your hips and shoulders. You also want to point the disc down at the ground. Something like this.
Now that is a nice huck.
Well, Ben, the crowd loves it. Take a look at that. If they had scorecards, it'd be 10s.
We're definitely seeing an exhibition of hucking right now. Both teams are scoring from very far away or only on close defensive possessions. There's not a lot of intermediate game right now.
Halftime is 8 points. Colorado 1 point away from that fact. California would like nothing more than to get another one on the board.
Once again, they go immediately for the end zone. Oh, and Julian Dahl just stretches out over Gabe to get the D. Nice play by the freshman.
That is textbook. We saw a textbook huck. Now we see a textbook layout D. Dahl keeping it from Sonka. All Sonka can do is just watch. Colorado now with the chance to increase their lead.
Cal has to know their early hucks aren't working, but maybe they think it's good enough to get down to the end zone and play some defense.
The freshman, Bo Kittredge, marked well.
Nice pickup by Martin.
Yeah, that looked a little lucky.
Get some scraps in the backfield. He'll be thanked for that later. Richter goes deep, and
oh, come on! He misses, but there's Kittredge for the follow-through.
Kittredge hustled downfield all the way after his own throw. Even though Richter missed Bizarro in the end zone, still had a nice goal.
The Mamabird faithful, definitely something to cheer about right now. They take a 3-point lead into halftime. Right now, it's all going right for Mamabird, but for UGMO and John Shelton, they need a new strategy. Cat Wilson, he's got to be happy.
The only thing I'd say that was working for us was our effort. We were working hard, and that's what paid off. I mean, we were bidding, we were laying out, we were running hard, and it paid off. I mean, you saw there were a few passes that went past the intended receiver, but we had a guy following him up running hard. That's about the only thing that was working. I mean, we sure were having trouble throwing complete passes and working our handler offense, which is what we like to run. So we'll improve on that in the second half, I'm pretty sure.
Cat Wilson, a hard man to please, his team up by 3. Welcome back to CSTV. Craig Hummer and Ben Wiggins. And Ben, there's no way that dog is winning the Spirit Award.
No respect for the equipment, none whatsoever.
You got to give him an A for effort, though. We're getting ready for the second half. Earlier at halftime, the Spirit Awards were handed out, given to the player from each of the 16 teams in the tournament that exhibited the best spirit all year.
It's especially noteworthy that these players were recognized by their teammates as being exemplary sportsmen no matter what the situation on the field. Great respect.
The big award of the day is the Callahan Award for the nation's MVP. It goes to Josh Ackley.
The recognition is good, yeah, but it means nothing if we don't win, if we don't complete our goal of what we want to do this year.
Josh's statistics during last year's championship games were exemplary. He averaged about 4.5 goals per game, by far leading last year's national tournament.
Berkeley with the team huddle coming out for the second half, down by 3. The score 8-5. The advantage for the Mamabird, the Colorado team. And you heard Richter, Josh Ackley, state exactly what he wants out of this championship game, and that is a national championship.
This game is not going to be like the first half. They're going to have to adjust to the changing wind conditions. Both teams are going to have to vary their strategies depending on how the wind affects them each point.
Berkeley got the disc to start the first half, therefore Colorado gets it to start the second. It was out of bounds, and the ruling means that they will advance it 20 yards up the field.
It's coming in at what's called the brick mark, and we'll start play. Parker Krug looking downfield.
Going with the wind, so already Colorado with the disc and the advantage, at least seemingly.
Here we go. Cal's switched something up right away. They're going into a zone defense. It was very effective against Brown in the semis. They've got a 4-person cup, and they're tracing people all throughout the middle range of the field.
That was a nice overhead hammer by Hunsinger. Opens it up, as you said, a little bit. Chance for Colorado to capitalize. They dump it back.
They did a nice job of getting ahead of the cup and then continuing to move forward, not allowing the cup to reset.
Parker Krug with it. Oh, and he throws it away. That's going to change sides, but it looks as though a foul's been called. He's going to get it back, Ben.
The mark put a little bit too much contact on the throwing arm. It's going to come back on stalling 0.
Krug looking to dish it out. He finds Chicken.
Looks like they had an opening through the cup, but they're going to have to move their handlers around. There they go. They start to move the cup, try to shift those defensive players and get behind it. Here's another swing to keep the cup moving. Typically, you don't stay in a zone defense this close to the end zone because you allow short yardage passes, but Cal looks confident.
Krug flicks it in there for the score. Kittredge pulls it down yet again, and now this margin is starting to get dangerous, isn't it?
You can see him look off the defender by staring over to the side and doing kind of a no-look laser through that cup. He's really trying to pick it apart.
Colorado's offense going through that man, Bo Kittredge. They lead by 4. Ultimate You're never too young to get into the game. Welcome back to the UPA College Ultimate Championships. Craig Hummer along with Ben Wiggins. And Ben, while we were away, there was some points scored.
Another quick Cal Huck, another quick Julian D. They punch it in on a nice diving catch in the end zone. Then on the next point, after a bad swing through traffic by Ackley, Gabe's got it about 10 yards out from the end zone. Bart Watson comes out with a second chance grab, and a couple of swings later, they go down the line to Garcia for the point.
And that leaves it where we stand, 10-6. Colorado still a 4-point advantage, still Colorado's momentum. They're about to pull it down the field.
California just does not look like a threat to score from many places on the field. They need to get momentum back quickly. Time is starting to tick out.
Colorado with the advantage and the disc. A quick dump just outside their end zone.
Cal again showing confidence in the team game of a 4-person cup. They're going to try to trace the offensive players through the middle of the field and make Colorado beat them over the top or around the sides.
JV flicks it out. Oh, and a great grab by Chicken right there.
Bart almost got to it, coming in on a very opportunistic D from the wing.
You see Kittredge just gets rid of that disc as fast as he can. He likes catching it but not throwing it.
Good swings from the Mamabird handlers. They're really moving the defense, making them work a lot harder than the handlers are having to. Kind of putting on a clinic handling right now.
They take the chance to move it up the field. It does not pay off. Great defense by Cal.
That's good, fellas. No worries, no worries.
Bart standing over it. Let's see if they can have some patience now. If they can throw a couple of in passes and move the disc around, they can change the point of attack and get a good huck off. Oh, and there's a quick foul.
Slows it down. They go back to that 10 count.
Like I'm saying, Craig, if they can move it around a couple of passes, they can get nice lanes down the field. But if they just try to stand, shoot, they're going right into the teeth of the defense.
That's Nat Kinski with the disc. For the dump, right behind, can't find it.
He's forced to do a desperation punt. Does he have anybody down there? It won't matter anyway.
So that will go out of bounds. The disc will go over to Colorado. And at this point, Colorado really trying to gap California. Of course, California, on the other hand, just trying to do damage control, it seems like.
As good as their defense is, they're not out of this game. They need to string together a couple passes and get their confidence up. Their defense can keep them in it if they can just score 1 out of every 2 or 3 possessions.
JV dishes it back to Chicken. Krug's got it right now. Chicken again.
Again, they're into the swing machine. They're still trying to move it up slowly.
That's Jason Buckingham in the game. Hunsinger right there.
This Cal defense, while it may look like they're giving up a lot of yards, this is exactly what they want. They want to wait until a weaker player gets it and then set a hard trap. They're just looking for their opportunity right now. If they can get a weak handler to hold it for 3 or 4 counts, they can really get the... Oh, and there it was. Bart with another D going straight back to an offensive player.
Buckingham to Gottlieb. Back once again to Simon. Krug had it. Gottlieb with it again. Great movement of the disc right here. Nobody holding on to it for very long. That was Dahl that had it in the center.
Here it is. There's the trap. They've got a weaker handler with the disc, and Bo pulls out a hammer. Probably didn't know he could throw that.
Oh, so close to the goal line. Somebody's open. There it is. Buckingham will score. 11-6 Colorado.
Cal is one of the best defensive teams we've seen all year, and right now, everything is difficult. He has to fire this one through 3 laying out players to get the goal. But if you can't score, it doesn't matter how good your D is. And right now, that's what's killing California.
Hunsinger to Buckingham. Good for the point and a 5-point Colorado lead. Well, in this game alone, you've got UGMO and the Mamabird. You ever wonder where all these crazy nicknames come from? Let's take a look.
We are UC Berkeley UGMO, and where the name came from is a little secret they haven't let me in on yet.
I couldn't tell you.
I'm sure it's a sordid sort of story, but I think part of it was coming from Ugly Monkey.
We're the Hodags from Wisconsin, and it's a mythical beast from the Northwoods of Wisconsin.
I am the Hodag. I am ruthless on the field. I will stop at nothing to accomplish my goals.
Yarr!
I couldn't tell you.
We're the Stanford Bloodthirsty, which originated about 4 years ago, and Bloodthirsty epitomizes the energy we like to bring to the field in defense. Actually, a couple guys have been known to drink blood occasionally.
I would have to say that we chose that name because it signifies the way that we like to play the game, and that's with the most aggressive defense. The name has a bit of tradition in it, but I would say that when you watch us play defense, you could say that many of us are actually thirsty for blood.
Don't know.
We are at the College of William and Mary, and we have no use for a nickname.
We just can't agree, so we're just William and Mary, Ultimate Team.
We've bounced some things around, and we just like the name William and Mary.
All right, Ben, you were on the Oregon Ego. How'd you come up with that one?
Oh, we figured the best way to convince ourselves that we were good is just to tell ourselves we were the best over and over again.
It almost worked. 11-6. Colorado's up. Looking to extend the lead, but first they got to play some tough D.
Let's go, Martin. What are you going to do, Martin? What are you going to do this game, Martin?
Ben, you hear the coach yelling, Martin. Who's he talking to?
He's talking to Martin Cochran. He's a first-year player on Colorado. Oh, big drop by Garcia there. Maybe helping Martin out with his defensive alignment downfield enabled them to get that drop.
And you saw number 2, J.V. Gottlieb, just saying, all right, let's calm it down, let's score. Does he toe it in? Oh, Kittredge gets it across the line. Huge point to extend the lead even more. Colorado now up by 6.
Credit JV for knowing where the hot hand was and going right to him. You can see he's going for a low break. Defender's barely trailing. That disc has to be pretty much perfect.
At this point, the game getting away from UGMO. Ben, if you're Cal, what do you do?
Well, you'd like to be able to slow down Kittredge, but really he's not being called plays for. He's just in the flow of the offense. They've got to score. Right now they're giving Colorado 2 or 3 possessions.
Colorado up by 6. Can they close it out? We'll find out. Don't go away. We welcome you back to CSTV's coverage of the 2004 UPA College Ultimate Championship game for the men. Cal Berkeley, the number 1 seeded team, against the number 2 seeded team of Colorado, and it's the number 2 seed spanking them at the moment. Colorado has doubled them up. They leave 12-6.
Colorado's efficiency right now is definitely winning this game for them. They're taking many fewer possessions to score. Cal is going right for it right away.
They pull it down. Bart Watson answers when they needed something. They needed to get it going. Watson has been their go-to guy all year, all tournament. One of their top players, Ben, and he provides the spark.
Yeah, he's had a difficult game this game. He's thrown a bunch of turnovers and he's had some missed Ds, but right there makes a nice athletic play over Foreman of Colorado. Hey, if they can go one pass to the end zone on every possession, they can still win this game.
And Ben, you said it earlier, California's defense is good enough to shut this Colorado squad down. Obviously the score doesn't illustrate that point, but Cal's still very much in this.
It's true. Here they're going again to their 4-person cup. They're going to try to mix it up and make Colorado play a team game instead of hucking every time. But they're going to need to contain these handlers who are doing a nice job of swinging it back and forth.
Richter dumps it off to Kittredge. Kittredge to Dahl. Right now, though, Colorado moving it up. Simon, great defensive try there.
It's a big flyby by Arlo on the wing.
Chicken Simon dumps it back to Krug. Krug back to Simon.
Sometimes just one of those big layouts is all you need to get the offense nervous and make them tentative. If they can do that, maybe they can pick off some wobbly throws.
There's Chicken to Krug. Kittredge has it. You've seen him in the end zone a lot today. Krug trying to dump it off. They're so close yet again.
Again, staying in the zone right next to the end zone line. This is usually advantage offense.
Krug so close to the line, he just needs to get it over. Sometimes that's the hardest way to do it, though.
They've switched the mark. Krug tries an upside-down scuba to try to get directly across the line. It's probably the most difficult throw he could have tried, and his coach is not going to be pleased by that choice.
The D comes up big for California, and right away they move it down.
Couple of nice break throws, move it to the middle of the field.
Dan Stein with the disc, dishing it off right there. Kyle Perry pulling it down, and the force is on.
There's a quick foul on the sideline. It's coming in. Berkeley has nice spacing towards the deep area. If they wanted to run somebody into space, they could probably hit this throw. Again, a foul on the mark.
And often that is a strategy, isn't it?
Well, it's not supposed to be. You're not supposed to be allowed to intentionally foul. What the defensive player was saying is that the offense is pivoting into it. From here, it's pretty clear that that wasn't the case.
They go for the end zone. Oh, look at that. Dahl knocks it away.
The receiver looks a bit shaken up on the play, but another D by Julian Dahl. Again, Colorado able to come off the back of the stack and help out on D when they need to.
Kyle Perry just unable to get his hand up there, but credit Dahl with being positioned perfectly.
Keep talking to him.
Cal still down 5. They're a bit predictable on offense now. Here comes Colorado, looking at 70 yards to score.
Richter has it, brings it in the middle. Chicken Simon. Simon puts it out to Hunsinger.
I'm really impressed by the conditioning of these Colorado players. You don't see them on the mark looking tired. You don't see them stopping their pivots. They really look like they're almost as fresh as they were at the beginning of the game.
We saw that in their semifinal match against Stanford. Stanford thought they'd have the fresh legs due to their deep roster, but it was Colorado doing just what they're doing here.
It's even more surprising given the fact that they've been playing basically one line all game. Only a couple of subs on each possession at most. Here's the trap. They've got him stuck in the corner.
Up, and there you see the knockdown. Are we going to see a turnover?
Looks like he's called strip, and the defense has agreed it was a strip.
And to clarify a strip, once the offensive player has possession, it cannot be knocked out of his hand.
Dan Hodges is doing a nice job. Big hammer through the middle, and he's found a wide open Dahl on the backside. Man, is Colorado shredding this zone right now.
Hunsinger to Dahl, good for another point and a 13-7 lead.
Craig, that might just about do it. I don't know how much Cal has left at this point, and if their zone isn't working as effectively as they need it to, they're not going to be able to put another 8 points up.
They're starting to act a little bit like a sieve, aren't they? They're becoming porous. The Cal defense, once so dominant, now being picked apart by this very fresh and very motivated Colorado crew.
And it's a Colorado team that has now seen this defense for an hour and a half or almost 2 hours. They're starting to adjust to who's going to poach when, and they're starting to play against a defense that's now more predictable.
Give Coach Cat Wilson from Colorado credit. He has been in the ear of his players throughout this tournament, but certainly none more so than this championship game. And his charge is about to accomplish a feat that they have only dreamed about.
They come down in a quick zone. Looks like they're going to transition out of this to go person defense. Right now they're staying with the zone, trying to get Cal to stare at their mark. And now they transition. They've gone from a zone to a man defense to try to slow the Cal offense down and then pick up their matchups.
Goes for the huck. Oh, it was right there.
It's that same corner where they've dropped at least one other pass. That was a good put by Bart.
Mittendorf looked like he had a chance, looked like it hit his hands.
A little bit of a bump on the play, but not enough to call foul. JV's going right back at him.
The outside in, it's tipped. Oh, and Gonzo Smith of Colorado almost comes up with it, but it's a turnover.
Neither team wants to have the disc in their possession at this point. Get it down to the other end zone, try to catch it, go right back at it.
Just over Watson's head, and you see the smile on his face. That was a missed opportunity.
Right away. Run it up, run it up.
Colorado's going to take their time. They know they've got plenty of offensive weapons. They just need to distribute the disc and try to attack the defense methodically.
And at this point, Ben, it's all going Colorado's way. They're up in points. They're up in advantage as far as momentum, and they really seem to be almost doing what they want to do on the field, save for a few mistakes.
It's true, but couldn't you imagine this game if a team could score in one possession? It would be over so quickly. Cal is not out of this until that last goal is being thrown.
Moving it up the sidelines well. Zach Freeman with the disc at the moment.
Doing a nice job of pivoting low and wide, made the mark foul him. He gets a reset and play.
You can see the size difference. He's only 5'4". J.V. flicks it. Oh, so close. Another opportunity.
Really jammed that one in and was lucky to have it. Now he's wide open on the end zone, and he's got it. That's the 14th point. That's getting close to doing it. They are right on the verge of their championship.
Zach Freeman pulls it down. J.V. with the nice little forehand flick for the score. 14-7. They double them up once again. We'll come back. Can Mamabird rule the roost? Welcome back to the 2004 UPA College Ultimate Championship final match. Colorado knocking on the door. They have doubled up the score of their competitor, Berkeley. They lead 14-7. The game is to 15, and you must win by 2. Craig Hummer along with Ben Wiggins. And Ben, it's pretty close, at least as far as Colorado's concerned, to end in this.
Does Cal believe that they can pull this off? Well, I don't know. Their offense looks, not pretty good. I almost spoke too soon, but that's a bad low throw by Bart Watson. Parker's got it just outside the end zone.
They only need one more point. There you see number 19, Parker Krug, dishing it off. It goes to J.V. Gottlieb. He's been the handler all game. He's controlled the tempo, and there it is.
Hammer over the top.
It is over. Keith Hunziger will get credit for the final point. The University of Colorado Mamabird are the 2004 UPA College Ultimate Champions. Polar opposites. You look at the Colorado squad, you see elation. You look at the Berkeley squad, and you see utter disappointment.
It was ugly, but that's how we wanted it. We wanted to set the tone that we were going to fight them the whole way, and either they could give up or we could fight them to a 14-15 game. That's how we wanted it at the beginning. That's what our plan was.
For Colorado, the culmination of a year of hard work pays off. For Cal, they come up short.
They came here to play today. I think maybe we were happy to be here. Maybe we were a little bit more beat up. We had a lot of dramatic wins to get here. I have my hats off to them. They beat us to the throws. They played a really good game.
Colorado comes in as the number 2 seed. They leave as the number 1 team in the country. For more information on the Ultimate Players Association, go to www.upa.org. Log on to collegesports.com, the ultimate destination for scores, news, highlights, and analysis. This has been a presentation of CSTV College Sports Television, number 1 in college sports. For Ben Wiggins, I'm Craig Hummer. So long, everybody.